Welcome to District 4, to the point of information and news. I am your host, A-Love, and today we are technically to the point. I had to jump on because I wasn't going to come on today just to talk about this week in investing. Now, you know that I do financial literacy, which is going to be today's topic, but I'm going to cover two things because I like people to recognize any version of something that's going to take your money and not be a good investment. People tell you hype all the time. I am purposely wearing a KISS t-shirt to talk about finances so you can see that you can't judge a book by its cover. There was a young man back in 2022, came on, business suit in the picture, looks, puts this meme up, and he talks about GameStop. As a result of this meme, quote unquote, everyone decides that they're going to invest in GameStop. We're all going to run and we're going to save GameStop. We're going to come on our white horses, invest, and rescue the company. And it was sort of that type of fallacy that everyone began to invest on. Now, this is no disrespect to GameStop. I'm only being realistic about where it is. Now, we're going to talk about this week because there's two things that happened this week. The gentleman's name, everybody knows, was called Roaring Kitty, or AKA Roaring Kitty. His real name was Keith Gill. Okay, this is no disrespect to Keith. This is just the person that did that. But you have a sort of a rise here in 2024, in the 2024 year, of sort of the same hype. Now, we fell for this with FTX. You saw me go through FTX, and I talked about don't invest in cryptocurrency like this. Cryptocurrency is not a long-term investment. You've heard me say all these things. I talked about Tesla, and I talked about AMC, and I talked about GameStop, but not to the respect that they are being spoken about today. So let's talk a little bit about what happened on Monday, because most of this happened on Monday, if not all of it. We'll start with AMC and then we'll go down to GameStop because that's probably the one that I wanted to hit the most. AMC, okay, it's been in trouble for a minute. It's closed at close on Monday, up 78%, ending at $5.19. Now this is cray-cray. See, I'm changing even my terminology because I want you to not judge a book by its cover. This is outrageous if you look at AMC's record. If you look at how this investment actually pays off. Now, I'm not saying if you have a portfolio and you decide you want to just, do that 10% that you put into something that may or may not be something, we call them a risk investment. And not that AMC doesn't have a track record, so you can't really call it a risk technically, but you can say if you're following along and have been following at least for the past 2 years, and anybody following longer than that might want to second guess the amount of money you're putting into this investment. Just to give a little bit of detail on this one, we're talking about, so it's a 250 mil stock sale. It was finalized again Monday by end of day, and it sold at that 72.8%, round that up, okay? So, and it's not the fact that this is what is a booming, we just want to call it that somebody decided to step in and everybody wanted to sort of save the day with AMC. But we have to look at what's happening with AMC. Do you need me to reiterate? I fast forward to GameStop because this is the one I really want to hit. Now, AMC, I'll have you go look that up. I want you to look it up for the last 2 years. I want you to look at it before the pandemic and after the pandemic. And then fast forward to today and see if this is long-term for you or if you're just going to do this part-time for those of you that decided to put on your capes. Save the day. But GameStop seems even more crazy to me. Now, GameStop, if you look at the matrix on GameStop, it was in serious trouble. And this is not to say that by buying, I said it it's 74% for this one. It's the biggest since 2022. Think about how, if you look at GameStop in January, 22.5. Okay. Today, 24%. That's not even, I mean, it's a slight jump. But for the level of trouble this company was in, it didn't make sense. It seems like it's one of those smoke and mirrors things. That on the surface, it looks like it makes sense. And you might want to, put a little bit in it and catch it on its way up. But if you look at the changing times, it really doesn't make a lot of long-term sense. How many times do you go to the movies if you don't have kids? How many times do you go to the movies and take your kids? How many times do you go to GameStop, and how many GameStops do you actually see that are left? Now, this is not to say that this boom, for lack of a better description, isn't going to save it. It's more going to buy it time. I'd like to say those words. But I just wanted everybody to think about that. Think about that when you start riding a wave. I always see, everybody ran out and bought cryptocurrency. It's going to save the day. We're going to switch over to cryptocurrency like tomorrow. So everybody run out and buy cryptocurrency. And, get it from FTX. And we had all of this sort of due diligence that wasn't real due diligence, that just looked like it was due diligence, that created this hype around cryptocurrency from the people that were selling cryptocurrency or investing heavily in cryptocurrency or being paid to promote cryptocurrency. It's these types of things. We also, how many people run out and bought an FTF? Remember those? I mean, not to say that we don't still have them, but remember those? And everybody thought this was going to be the next wave, and this is going to replace art. So people were saying this is going to replace art and all of these things. And I mean, it's not completely dead, and neither is cryptocurrency completely dead. But was it worth the amount of money you were actually putting into it? And now, I'm not disrespecting these companies, as I stated. Lifelines are great. Booms are great when people decide that they want to trust in something. But put that 10% in there, in my opinion. Maybe not go into your portfolio in the middle of a recession, almost Great Depression, where the feds are raising and lowering and raising again and then raise, where, everything is costing an arm and a leg. Now, granted, salaries, yes, are going up. I get that. Price of living is going up, but salaries are going up with them. I get that. But haven't we seen this before? I mean, just food for thought. I'm not going to labor on it too hard if there's anything else I need to say about it, but, yeah. Now, as we remember from the first time, I do want to bring this up. Melvin Capital in 2021 lost $5 billion. GameStop. Neither here nor there. I can't tell you what to do with your money. But I am saying, just because someone puts on a business suit, combs their hair just right, doesn't mean that they understand the market. It doesn't mean that they can analyze the market. And it doesn't mean that they've been following the markets long enough to analyze even things that look like they're profitable. How would you know the difference? So I always say that, watch your money. Pay attention to who you're listening to, and don't go by how the person's dressed. I'm in a Kiss t-shirt, but I've been doing finances for I don't even know how long. So think about that. Just wanted to say that really quick. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have to go off sometimes. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.